So these are the themes that really jump out at me as potential avenues to explore in the essay. The first one is critiquing the study itself. Is the research really a reflection of reality? So what do I mean by this? Well, we can see that the study, however, it has had a big impact in the media and in the psychological research world. It's actually been criticised, and we'll see that in the next lesson, both for its experimental design. So it's been criticised for not being a particularly valid study that wasn't really measuring what it claimed to measure. And the claims that it made about IQ and marriage haven't really stood the test of time, and they might not actually be accurate. A second theme that we might want to explore is intelligence itself. And is intelligence really the factor at play here? What else might be a contributing factor to this difference in gender and marriage? So, as we saw earlier, when we just did a brief introduction of the study, there were other factors that seemed to affect whether men and women were married. So this included things like their work, their height, their social status, things like that. So we could definitely explore some other factors that are not intelligence related. There are other factors like personality, for example, that we haven't even explored in this lesson, but we will explore in further lessons. A third angle to explore will be, what does more up-to-date research say, given that IQ might not necessarily be the best measure for intelligence, and IQ may not be the best way of explaining the difference between men and women and their likelihood of being married. So obviously this study that we shared was based on data collected in 1932. The study came out in the early 2000s, so over 20 years ago. So it's always important in psychological essays, when you're conducting research, to think about when the study was published and think, okay, in general, the more recent the study was published, the better quality the evidence will be, because psychological techniques and psychological research has improved in quality and reliability since 20 years ago. So we can have a look at the more recent literature, which we'll be doing in later lessons as well. And a fourth point I think we should look into in further lessons are cultural differences. So is intelligence and marriage viewed the same in different cultures? How do different cultures approach gender norms around marriage and gender roles in marital life? We'll explore those later though.